And then just go ahead and, pick an area, loosen it up, and then just start to work like Don was illustrating on just getting the plastic to bend. You'll hear it snap, and then you'll just have to work your way down the road, so to speak.
Do it. Don't even go that far. Go part of the way, all the way. And then when the whole thing is pretty even, then flex it off at once. And you just wiggle it. Once you break an edge a little bit. Yeah, so if you get it a ½ inch away, all the way down, then you can start to pull it away and it's less damaging.
Start on the corner and just work your way down. I'd start right here, Josh. Start on the corner and just kind of work your way down. Get this bent loose and just kind of work your way that way. Instead of trying to get it all at once, just takes a little bit of force. Once you start to loosen it up, it'll just start to. There you go. Get a little bit more juice. There you go. There you go.
If you were to use this, you know what? If you use the form without the whole thing looks like glass.
How many contractors does it take to change a light bulb?
Sanding block after. You take the block and go over, like that.
I got a rub stone too.
Off your edges.
You get that pointy,
The sharp edge.
Nice, right?
If you're doing this size kitchen all the time too, if you keep these, they're already pre-cut, they're gonna fit in.
For the end.
Another thing you could do, instead of 45 in those, you could just bend this around inside of that form like that. Don't even cut it, just bend it, and you'll have a rounded corner. You don't have to cut it.
We'll take that. Screws out. Yeah, the screws in there, and then this will. How's your script? What you do is just put a screwdriver underneath and put positive pressure up as you unthread it. Unless someone has a hammer, what is the deal? Yeah. There's no hammer in the training. Oh, there you go. Okay. Nope, that works. You guys see what he's doing? He's going caveman on it, but he's correcting the joint.
Some carving. Now, we spent time yesterday staining this up with Reacts. All we're going to do now to finish this is we're going to take a little bit of our panel mix, and you can see it's real soupy. I've got a brand new chip brush, okay? It's real soupy, real watery. I got a brand new chip brush, and all I'm going to do is come back and just tag these joints. This will completely dry, ash white, the same color of our, the same color as our grout that we used yesterday as well. If a mason was really grouting these stones together, there would be, overages just like what we're doing. So you would have grout that would be splooging off onto the stone, and he'd have to come back and clean it off. And that's essentially exactly what we're going to do. The only difference is we're doing it at a very quick pace. He couldn't grout this fast. So by coming in here and just painting this grout into this corner, into these joints, what's happening is we're doing everything that a regular mason would do. We're giving the impression of a grout. Just finish up the panel. There's no residue on this panel. Everything's cement. So this will bond completely to the dry concrete. So there's no need for a bonding agent or anything. This is just, it's a cement on cement application. Just like somebody tuck pointed it. As soon as you're done, then you come back with a sponge and clean water. This is the tricky part, because if you're working with the dirty sponge, you're going to disperse this Portland all over the face of it, and it'll ash out white. So it might take a little bit of time or a couple wipe downs with a clean sponge to get the look that you're looking for. But what I do is I go against the stone and just pull off, like one stone at a time, pull off all that Portland, and I rotate my sponge. And I just kind of keep it as clean as I can. Rotate my sponge. Rinse it out.
Nate, you ever use a grout bag and just actually
It's too much.
too much?
Yeah, and the grout bag, this is more, the grout that I'm using is more of a very, very liquidy paste.
Yeah.
Almost like a paint.
We're not showing it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just giving the illusion of grout. We're just giving the illusion of grout. We're not really actually grouting. And so, right now, all my Portland water in here is covering the whole sponge. So, I am putting a fine white powdery film over everything, which isn't bad for our finish because that adds to our...
It looks very like a natural stone panel.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
It just adds a little color to the surface of that stone.
You don't ever seal that, do you? Like the whole panel?
It's optional. I mean,
Probably
regular stones, not exactly. What would happen, if you were gonna seal it, I would say use an invisible sealer. So it won't change the look of it. The only thing you would notice is when it rains, it would not wet out. You wouldn't get that, water would just beat off of it, and that's okay. When you put a regular sealer on, you know, you're gonna be putting some kind of glossy coating on there and it starts to look more fake.
What's the reason, you know, how well does it react with, I got a lot of water on it, hold up.
Wouldn't matter. Yeah, it's fine. But the water repellent isn't a bad idea. Like, I mean, we have two things. We have our True Block, which is a silicone and water repellent combined that's invisible, or we have something that's just pure siloxane water repellent. Again, it won't change the look of it in any way.
Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wash this sponge out, and then I'm just gonna coat the entire rock with pretty much a pretty dry, clean sponge, just once over. There will be a slight Portland film that covers our stone, and you'll see as this dries out, the effect that it'll have. If you don't like how light this is, because we'll know in about 10 minutes, you know, exactly how light it is. If you don't like how light it is, you just come back with you just do this exact same process. If you don't like the lightness, then you just do the same thing over one more time. Once again, there is just small, minute traces of Portland dust that are coating this right now with what I'm doing. When it's completely dry, we'll be able to see how much color is there or how much color is covered up. You will have to change your water. Now, we're grouted. We've got like a wash over this whole thing. In the next 10, 15 minutes, this will be completely dried out, and we'll be able to go back and look to see just, you know, the final look of our panel. Like he said, sealing it is an option, but if this was my outdoor kitchen, I'd seal it. And here's why. It's not because the concrete isn't strong enough or whatever. I think because we're an outdoor kitchen, it's good to have at least a protective coating on it, because we're around food, we're around beer, we're around, what happens if somebody spills their crap? It's gonna, you know, stuff's gonna come off the sides. A kid's running with a hot dog and mustard and ketchup goes into it. You know, you never know. You know, you just don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe there's a huge, you know, ball burning, you know, blowout beer bash in somebody's backyard and people are puking on everybody, and you don't know. You just don't know what's gonna happen, right?
Puking protection.
So, you know, I would just seal it because it's in an outdoor area and you got food. You've got, you know, beverages, liquids, all kinds of stuff that's going out there. I would seal it, and it's also gonna, you know, just be another protective covering for it to ensure the vibrancy of the color. You can make these colors pop. It is true that when it rains, it won't wet out. You know how like a real stone will get completely dark like this, but then in 10 minutes it's going to be very light. Okay, so, you know, you do have that. But remember, if you're in a freeze-thaw environment and stuff can wet out one day and then freeze in there, you don't want that to happen either. So it's good to keep your panels sealed. It's good to keep your hard work and I mean, it's not like you're going to lose color because it's chemically colored, right? So for the work that we've got into this, okay, for the work that we have into this, guys, this is nothing, okay? This is literally, this is the 43rd panel. This is the 43rd panel that I've stained with Reacts. And I think I've spent a total of $115 in stain. Okay? For 43 panels. Because I'm still using the original, I bought all 9 colors. And we're going to stain the top of our seat wall with it. We'll stain the top of our countertop with it. And it's just a very efficient way and a nice colorization for what we're doing.